think it's interesting how the pigs, oh, there's a horsefly on that pig. I haven't seen many horseflies this year. How the pigs and the goats, they eat right there together without fighting. I mean, sometimes the pigs will, well, I mean, they boss each other around a little bit, but they're fine with each other. Here we are at the pig soiree at the Gasthaus. There's the paved salon, the paving at the salon, and a river runs through it still. Oh, there's a rat. See him up there? I'm getting rather fond of these rats. I hadn't seen any, well, until just now. I saw 3 before. Anyway, matter of fact, I'm a little protective of them. Anyway, it's that's overflow from the well that's underneath that building up there, the dug well. And you know, once I get everything cleaned up, I'll pipe it from the well to a source here, but it'll be potable water. Hard to believe right now the way it looks, but it will be. One of the pigs I saw, one of the teenage pigs, one of them over there, he was here drinking from this just a little bit ago. No, he was drinking on the surface. Well, they'll start to arrive soon. But while I'm waiting for company, I'm going to tell you that another layer is about to go over that paving. It's part of the finished floor that's coming up. I'll show you that. I'll do that while the pigs are here, probably. And another thing I wanted to say is back in that corner, right back in there, when I rake the manure out of there, I hit stone. I think there's a stone floor back there. I wouldn't be surprised. This barn was put over an older building, and I think the manure was never completely gotten out after the barn was placed here. And that's something I want to say about that bridge too. You know, that narrow bridge, I haven't seen any fighting yet over who gets to go across it. But I think about Robin Hood and Little John. You know, there's really only room for one pig, and if 2 meet head on, you'd think one would have to back up. Well, I guess they do, because maybe they just are that polite that they know. Oh, okay. Now see there? There's 2 of them on there, but they're small ones. I'll probably make 2 bridges, an in and an out, eventually, or a wider one. I don't know what I'll do, but that's working now. I thought that might happen. A pig bath right in my Gasthaus. Cool. So I've got a bridge over a pig bath in the Gasthaus, the salon of the Gasthaus. You know, every Gasthaus ought to have a bridge over a pig bath, don't you think? And a river running through it. It could be the new thing. Now the next layer there, let me show you it. I'm giving it its moment in the sun before I bring it in. So those of you that have followed my videos since last spring maybe remember that I ran into some old carpet buried in mud, and I still don't really have any idea how it got there. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it. First I just managed to get it out of the mud. But there it is. That's going to be a layer. It's not going to be my mortar exactly, but that's going to be a layer in that floor that I just paved. I'm going to let it dry out a little bit more. I wouldn't need to, but before I take it in. And while I'm out here, I'll show you something else. I've got to return to this venue over here. This is the buttressing porch. And I had other priorities that I just had to get to. There's the water coming out. That's the river that's running through the Gasthaus. I had other priorities that I simply had to see to. But now I can return to this, which should be fun, incidentally. I have a picture of them from about, my guess is about 1860, maybe. From a distance, a picture taken from over there when there was a completely different barn on this site. But probably not, almost certainly not the first barn. But it's a point that I can orient to. Someday I'll show you that picture, an old photograph. It is online, but I'll give you a link to it someday. A little bit more action going on here. That's Teeny, is his name. He's the only one I kept from that litter because he was so teeny. And that's Molly, my oldest sow. And they're working on that floor. You know, it's a delicacy. You know, it's part of the whole soiree to be able to munch out on that 50-year-old, or maybe in some cases 100-year-old a manure. It's probably a little bit like Limburger cheese or something to them. Certainly like cheese or wine. Vintage. Even the young ones love it. That's Teeny. Makes you wonder what's so good about that. Another one goes for a bath. That water's probably cold. If it's coming out of the well. It hasn't been in the sun. Barn swallows are still flying around in here. It's coming up to the point in the year where they're going to leave. Mid-August they go. Now this barn has had more than I ever knew them to. The lower barn used to have more of them, but now the action seems to be up here.